Hello, everyone. I'm Sidney. I'm an MN student currently studying at UTIS. I have obtained my bachelor degree in mechanical engineering in Hong Kong, and my critical review one will be focusing on discussing the challenges and problems faced by the aerospace industry and how companies such as Airbus and Boeing formulate strategies to tackle them. And in the end, I'll be providing my own opinion and suggestions on what the aerospace company could do to solve the problem. Let us begin, Let us begin today's self-critique video. For the first part, identification, the paper has defined the problem and solution clearly and precisely. The situation faced by the aerospace industry is the increasing market demand for the new generation aircraft. In order to meet customers' demand, OEM decided to outsource aircraft components to suppliers, which creates a shift from traditional to newer and more innovative manufacturing methods. Suppliers now face problems associated with managing other suppliers, manufacturing major aircraft components, and conducting subassembly processes that are up to the safety standard of the OEM. The solution proposed by the OEM is to create a set of protocols in terms of the selection of suppliers and to form strategic alliance with the suppliers. Overall, the paper identified the problem and solution in a clear and precise manner for the readers to follow. On the other hand, the paper has also delivered relevant information that is necessary for a full understanding of the topic. For example, it includes figures illustrating the supply structures of Boeing Dreamliner program to give readers a comprehensive understanding of how Boeing tackles the problem of increasing market demand and the problems associated with the change in structure. Therefore, the paper should score level 4 in this category. For the second part, assumption, the paper has systematically analyzed others and its own assumption on the issues. The author of the original paper proposed that the suppliers are facing problems associated with inadequate knowledge in managing the lower tier suppliers. The paper has verified this assumption by taking the Boeing Dreamliner program as an example. The paper presented the supply chain of the Dreamliner program and analyzed the program based on the structure of the supply chain. The paper also analyzed the suggestion to the Tier 1 suppliers by presenting the Burson and Associates Enterprise Training Framework and elaborating it with author's own experience. For the analysis of problem, issue, topic, and investigation, for the analysis of a problem, the paper considered the problem from Boeing's perspective to illustrate how the shift in supply chain can cause problems for the suppliers. The review mentioned that Boeing created a tier system for its suppliers, and suppliers are classified into tiers 1, 2, and 3. Tier 1 suppliers are responsible for the manufacturing of major components, managing lower tier suppliers, and performing subassembly process. Through the investigation, the paper has identified problems associated with the modern aerospace supply chain, which are the inadequate knowledge of suppliers regarding the management of other suppliers, technical knowledge regarding manufacturing major components, and performing subassembly are also lacking. On the other hand, the paper considered problem from Airbus perspective and used the extended enterprise as an example to show how OEM tackles the problem. In the extended enterprise, OEMs perform auditing and screening for the suppliers to ensure that they possess the skills and experience in terms of the manufacture and assembly of aircraft and the management of suppliers. OEM also forms strategic partnership with Tier 1 suppliers to share knowledge and experiences to reduce production time and prevent any major delays due to misunderstanding. Thirdly, in terms of credibility of resources and source material, information taken from academic sources is presented with adequate interpretation in this critical review paper. Relative information such as the Dreamliner supply chain, the extended enterprise program, and the Burson and Associates enterprise learning frameworks was further elaborated in the paper, providing readers with basic understanding of the problem and solutions. And the information is provided in the order such that the readers will first understand the situation, the problem, and then the solution, which makes the paper a very coherent and in a logical manner, and therefore it should fall into level 3. Fourthly, in terms of the conclusion and problem solution, for the integration of ideas, the paper has systematically presented the problem and solutions. For example, the examples and the author's own ideas on the solutions are integrated into each part of the paper. Academic sources such as Burton and Associates Enterprise Learning Framework were integrated to demonstrate authors' ideas for further improvement. The paper overall is organized and coherent with elaboration and examples integrated into it. Therefore, it should fall into level 3. For the conclusion and solutions, the paper merely restated what it is about without elaborating on the future of aerospace industry, what possible challenges it may face, and what solution aerospace company might come up with. Yet the conclusion is somewhat coherent with the topic and the AER1601 course, and therefore it should fall into level 2. For part E, creativity, in terms of creativity, the paper attained level 4. Creativity emphasis on fresh ideas and reflection on students' engagement with the topic from his own experience. The paper has attempted to provide further solution for the suppliers based on the author's own experience with the Avalanche project in AER1601. The author presented the Burton and Associates Enterprise Training Framework, which allows Tier 1 aerospace suppliers to train their employees with knowledge delivered by the OEMs. The suggestions by the author based on his own experience provide new insights and further improvement on the topic, which contributes to further studies and investigation on the topic. So finally, for communication and adaptation to the audience, the paper has attained level 3 in this category. The paper provided a new direction in which Tier 1 suppliers can consider when they are training their employee, yet it lacks real-life examples to demonstrate how the suppliers can formulate the training programs. The paper only proposed a new approach without examples to support its claim, and therefore it cannot attain level 4. So generally, overall, the paper performs well in terms of presenting the problems in the aerospace industry, how the companies formulate strategies to solve them, and further improvement and suggestion for solutions. And that is all for the critical review video. Thank you for listening.